It was actually my choice. I found it a really natural selection. I've got a natural bent, I guess, towards legals. I quite enjoy it, and so I put my hand up and said that I'd like to do it.
After completing the Data Pass course, the management team wanted to stay on top of privacy, so they selected 2 people just to be the go-to people for privacy issues and just to keep up to date with the changes.
I've got a privacy and spam background from previous roles, and so yeah, it was an easy choice for me.
So we've got 2 compliance officers in our agency. We both work with data, but in different ways.
We're a small business, so I'm involved in marketing, but I'm not the marketer for the business.
I'm in data analytics, which is part of the strategy team.
I sit across all aspects of the business, and I don't personally believe that a compliance officer should sit within a marketing role. I think it's far more overarching across the whole business.
As a data analyst, I'm working with data day to day, so it made sense for me to be the compliance officer. My fellow officer, she's in the operations as a production manager, so she's also working with data day to day, but it's a slightly different role. So we both work with it in different ways, therefore we get a sort of different perspective on it.
The ADMA Regulatory Affairs newsletter is pretty awesome. It's a no-brainer for me that I have to read that newsletter when it comes out.
The Data Pass course is probably the biggest thing we do to stay up to date. We make sure that that's renewed every year.
Outside of that, I'm always looking for case studies and particularly for best practice from places like the Australian Communications Media Authority as well, on breaches, so I can learn from some of the issues that may have occurred in other businesses. You've
got the ADMA Compliance Hub. That's good, it's sort of your one-stop shop for privacy resources. You've got videos, forums, you can even organise a call with ADMA if you have a specific question. Apart from that, basically just keeping track of the news. You can set up Google Alerts, so anytime there's a news story about data privacy, they can give you a notification.
There's a couple of different initiatives. Firstly, 75% of our team have actually completed the ADMA Data Pass, and that's been invaluable. Coming from that background, I really understood the position of data and compliance as a whole, but having to do the Data Pass took it to a whole new level, and so I did make 3/4 of the guys sit through it, and it's now part of our standard training procedures and induction procedures as well.
The Data Pass is a big thing. We made sure that we got people from all different departments to take that course. Obviously you got account service, digital, production. Each of these departments have a slightly different role in using data, so we wanted to make sure we had a broad range of people. To make sure the business is compliant as a whole, I've actually used a whole bunch of the ADMA resources that have become available, and the checklists were excellent. It made it really easy to make sure that we're covering everything off, and that all of the changes will be implemented in some way in a timely manner, and make it easy to update as well. We tried to make privacy front of mind for all our staff. The idea is if anytime they're using data, if they can recognise when there might be an issue where you have to consider privacy, that's the first step. So then they can consult their documentation, or they can get in touch with the compliance officers for further information. We've just gone through actually our strategic vision for the next 3 years, and having to sit down and not just look at product and service evolution that's coming up, but also the staffing and resourcing and what we're going to do in those places. We've actually married it against the ADMA checklist, and we've created a short list really of anything that's going to happen in our business needs to fit a certain structure, particularly when it comes obviously to data collection, whether it's being collected in offline or digital channels, how it's actually stored. We've set up a privacy briefing with ADMA to take our clients through the changes in the Privacy Act. It's a sort of tumultuous period, so it's important that we sort of guide our clients through this and make sure everyone's doing the right thing. One of those simple initiatives was simply making our teams have a password protection on their laptops. They're out of the office all the time. If it's stolen or lost, we at least know that the data that's on that machine will be protected to some level, and that's just something really simple that you can do to add another layer.